Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for giving us your time and opportunity to be with us during this Wealth Builders Conference, a place where we get to discuss on various ways or opportunities you can build on wealth, not just for yourself, but even for your children. And today we are so honored to have a guest all the way from Nigeria. His name is Dr. Freeman Osunaga. He is a real estate entrepreneur, and his expertise in this field has earned him global recognitions and multiple awards, both locally and internationally. So this is someone we are going to learn a lot from him. I know most of us, we've been told by real estate brokers that all you need to do is to buy land and wait, then resell it after 10 years, 20 years, or they tell you build rentals, then that is how you can make money. But there is another way. There are other opportunities in which you can make money from real estate. And that is what our guest speaker today, Dr. Freeman, he will be going to share with us. Just to mention, he's also an author of two books. He will be giving us more details about the books and, of course, where you can get them so that you can get to learn more about real estate. Remember, knowledge put into action is power. So allow me to give Dr. Freeman the floor to introduce himself and tell us more about himself. Dr. Freeman, welcome and have the opportunity to introduce yourself.
Okay, thank you so much, Sheila. Thank you to all the team people that are working with you on the Financial Wellness Center. I'm so excited to be a part of this show today. I believe that we're going to have a fantastic time because it's quite exciting to discuss real estate as an investment, as a source of income, and we're going to have that broad conversation today. So, quickly for an introduction, I'm just going to read a little bit of my profile here and then we'll take the conversation forward. I'm Dr. Freeman Oshonuga. I'm a multi award winning real estate entrepreneur. I'm an avid public speaker. I'm a humanitarian and I'm a medical doctor. I established Nigeria's first and biggest independent real estate network marketing platform with over 20,000 registered realtors, which is termed by industry professionals as the largest network of property, billion-dollar property sellers in Africa, and that is the Ad Loyalty Business Network. But before I moved into real estate, I was at the front line in the fight against Ebola because I worked with the African Union during the Ebola outbreak. I was in Sierra Leone for 6 months, and for my work, I earned a presidential award. I'm also a Time Magazine Person of the Year for the year 2014, and I've spoken at many international events such as the Global Property Brokers Conference, One Young World Summit, Wired, TEDx. I've spoken at the US Consulate and so many other places. I have a long list of awards. I'm not going to bore you with all of those details. I'm happily married and I have a beautiful daughter, and I presently stay in Lagos. So that's a brief of my bio. On social media, you can check me out at Freeman Oshonuga on Instagram, Freeman Oshonuga on Facebook, Freeman underscore Oshonuga on Twitter, and Freeman Oshonuga on LinkedIn. Okay, before we go into our class, I'll just show you a little bit of my book. This book is called The Business Game, and then this book is Print Money with Zero Capital. So I just published two new books. This book precisely talks about real estate, how you can earn seven figures. I can earn seven figures in real estate with zero capital. That's what this book is about. So, and you can order them on Amazon, on Kindle, on all of these online platforms. And if you need physical copies too, if you have any difficulty, you can reach out. You can send physical copies to Kenya. We should send some copies to Calvin very soon. So yeah, Calvin JDC. So some copies are coming to Kenya very, very, very soon. So Sheila, that's the
Yeah.
introduction.
Perfect, perfect. That was such an informative introduction, and I believe our viewers now have a clear understanding about you, and of course, how they are going to get your books. And of course, I will be tagging Calvin Jadisi so that anyone who needs the hard copy of it can be able to access it. And definitely,
Yeah,
I'm gonna get one of the copies also so that we can
thank you,
get to, learn and of course support your work. So
thank you.
without further ado, allow me to dive into the show right away for the interest of time, because I believe we have a lot to discuss. And to our viewers, I encourage you to start writing your questions. If you have any question regarding real estate, right now is the best time for you to write, as we shall be ending with question and answer session, and our guest, Dr. Freeman, will be answering most of your questions. As well, if you have any feedback or comment that you need us to know, feel free to write in the comments, and we shall be more than happy to hear from you. So, Dr. Freeman, I'll start. What is real estate? And is there a difference between real estate and real property?
Okay. For a start, I would say that real estate and property both are the same thing. They are just words that we use interchangeably to mean the same thing. So,
Mm-hmm,
that said, let's talk about what is real estate. Primarily, real estate means land. Real estate means land and everything underneath and above the land. You know,
mm-hmm,
real estate
mm-hmm,
is a broad term to mean land,
mm-hmm,
everything on the
mm-hmm,
land, and everything below the land. Now, the things on the land can be natural and can be
mm-hmm.
man-made.
Yeah.
Natural from crops, plants. We can even have a lot of trees and all of that. Then
Yeah.
for human activities that had value to the land, this can be
Mm,
development, it can be houses, it can be buildings.
mm,
Now, so that is what is on the land. Then
mm,
beneath the land, we can have
mhm,
mineral resources, we can have oil, we can have
mm,
a lot of different types of minerals, and then we can also have human activity adding value to the land. For example, we can have underground buildings, we can have underground tunnels, we can have
mm,
sewage tanks. So,
mm,
proper real estate refers to land and whatever
mhm,
is on that land and whatever is
mm,
beneath it. So, for a definition, I would say that real
mhm,
estate may be defined as the
mhm,
land with all the improvements that
mhm,
human activity created to that land. For example, we have homes, buildings, farms, ranches, etc. Real estate
mm,
also include natural resources such as minerals, crops, that are in that land. So the immovable property, the part of human activity that had value to the land may be that had value to the land underneath it. It may be sewage pipes, it may be underground fence, it may be underground structures. But
mhm,
whatever it is on the land, beneath the
mhm,
land, constitute real estate. So that we will understand this term real estate clearly,
mhm,
there are like six types of real estate. We
mhm,
have residential real estate, we have commercial
mhm,
real estate, we have industrial real estate, we have
mhm,
agricultural real estate, we have mixed use real estate, and we have special use real estate. Most people are familiar with lands and houses when we talk about real estate, but when we look at it in detail, we can see that real estate is more detailed than just lands and houses or the houses you stay alone. So, what is residential real estate? Residential real estate is the type of real estate that deals with homes where people stay. This is the same type of real estate that talks about home ownership. Every
mm,
family desires to own a place of their own. So real estate that talks about home ownership or houses is talking about residential real estate. And then we have two types of this residential real estate. We have single family units, and then we have
Mm-hmm.
multi-family units. Single family unit, we are talking about detached houses, we're talking about duplexes, but multi-family unit, we're talking about apartments. These are type of residential buildings where we have many families staying in different apartments of the same building. So that is residential real estate. The other type of real estate that talk is commercial real estate. Now, commercial real estate, this is the type of property where business activities happen. For example, we talk about real estate that is housing, office spaces, shopping centers. We have malls, we have stores, we have entertainment facilities like studios, like cinemas, like gyms, hotels, motels, parking facilities, all of these fall within commercial real estate. So commercial real estate is a type of real estate whereby that property is solely dedicated for business activities. So that is the number two type of real estate. Number three type of real estate is industrial real estate. Industrial real estate talks about the type of real estate where industrial activities are being done. For as examples, we have warehouse, power plants, factories. All of these they fall within. It fall under real estate, but they are within the industrial type of real estate. But we have some real estate that are being dedicated to use for partly for commercial and partly for residential. So the real estate property that is partly being used for commercial and residential use fall within the type of real estate which we call mixed use real estate. Then the fourth type of real estate, the fifth type of real estate is agriculture real estate. Agriculture is a type of real estate because we are talking about land usage for crop production, for raising animals, for trees. So agriculture real estate is the fifth type of real estate that we'll talk about. And the last but not the least type of real estate is called special purpose real estate. Special purpose real estate talks about property that is being used for public purposes. Properties being used for public purposes, such as religious places, property used for religious places, for churches, mosques, traditional worship centers, government parks, government facilities, and cemeteries. All of these fall within special use real estate. So I hope with that I have attended to your question on what is real estate.
Yes, you have, and that was so insightful. I've actually never thought about special use real estate. And as you are speaking, I was just thinking, so someone can buy a cemetery and say that this is my property. If you wanna bury someone, you gotta pay me. But generally we know most of the cemeteries they are government owned, so I guess people do pay for that. But I'm also
No,
thinking, I think.
absolutely, absolutely. There are
Mhm.
privately owned cemeteries. There are
Mm,
privately owned cemeteries in Nigeria, yeah, and they don't come cheap. Yeah, so it's still real estate.
all right. And I believe even leisure places like parks,
Yes,
these places
car
that people go for
parks.
leisure. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Leisure places, yes. And
Mhm.
then there are new types of in very busy commercial centers of the cities, people build
Mhm.
old buildings as car parks.
Yeah.
People build
Mhm.
old
Mhm.
buildings as car parks,
Mm.
and
Yes.
that's commercial real estate. So the options are many. The options of investing in real estate, they are quite many.
Perfect. Yeah, actually, that one for people building making a building, especially for car parks. I've seen it in multiple cities all over the world, and it brings a lot of
Yes,
money actually, as compared to
absolutely,
other
absolutely.
quick money. Because if I'm gonna park there for 2 hours, you're gonna pay me, and someone else will do that, which is a good thing. So, to our next question, Doctor, what are the factors that contribute to the appreciation of real estate?
Okay. You see, real estate is such a beautiful investment because
Mm-hmm.
if you
Mm-hmm.
buy land and you don't even do anything on that land, as
Mm-hmm.
long as you own the land, the
Mm-hmm.
value of that land appreciates every single day. By
Mm-hmm.
just acquiring a property today, that
Mm-hmm.
property will be worth a lot more tomorrow than it
Mm-hmm.
is today. And it is an intrinsic factor of real estate. So, real estate has an intrinsic factor of value appreciation with time. As time goes on, every
Mm-hmm.
property appreciates. That's number one. Number two, development on the land, development on any particular land also has a great amount of value to the property. Say, for example, if you acquire a land that is about 6 plots, if you develop some part of that land, the remaining part of land become more worth, they will have more market value because of
Mm-hmm.
development that has happened on such property. And we can take this further to also say
Mm-hmm.
that once there are facilities in that area, or once there are facilities created for such property, it also adds to the value of such property. So, number one, I have said that real estate has an intrinsic value, an intrinsic property whereby it appreciates in value with time. Then, number two,
Mm-hmm.
I have also said that when you develop the property, you increase the market value of such property. That's number two. Number three, the number three thing that also help in pushing the value of real estate forward, upward, is
Mm-hmm.
urbanization. Urbanization. So, say for example, we have a suburb or
Mm-hmm.
a local community,
Mm-hmm.
but as soon as we have human activities, maybe
Mm-hmm.
driven by developmental projects, government developmental projects in an area. Let's say, Sheila, give me a local community in Kenya, or your local community in Kenya.
Nairobi, or let's say
Nairobi is
you
not a
want a
local
specific
community.
tribe.
Yes, 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 yes.
Let's say Masai, the
Okay,
Masai
let's say
community.
Maasai. Let's say the Maasai
Yes.
community now. So if the
Yeah.
government is doing a massive project in Maasai community, if the
Mm-hmm.
government or in private investors are doing a massive project in Maasai, for example, say they are doing an industrial park there, or they are doing a free
Mm-hmm.
trade zone there, or they are doing a
Mm-hmm.
refinery project there, that massive project will mean that a lot of people, a lot of workers will go to Masai. That means that a lot of companies will move there. So when there is urbanization in an area, the urbanization, the fact that a lot of people are moving there, it will increase the value of the property in such a community. So the factors I have outlined are three.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked about real estate having that intrinsic property whereby the value appreciates. Then I've also talked about the fact that when you develop the property, it drive up the market value of the property. Then
Mm-hmm.
urbanization in an area also also drive up the value of the property. So for this conversation, I think those are the three things I'm going to talk about.
That is so great. And as you were just sharing that information, something came in my mind, and I have seen. I'm not quite sure if that is happening in Nigeria right now, but I've seen a lot of real estate companies. They go and buy huge chunk of land, in a very remote area, then they develop it. So let's say they buy like 10 acres, then they put roads within that 10 acres, they plant trees, they make it up the way we apply makeup to look good. So they do that. Now, does that really, remember it's just this 10-acre and the place it's in a very remote area. Would that really contribute to appreciation of such an area?
Absolutely. Yes, it will. Yes, it will because for example, let's talk about this example you have given. So these firms, we do a lot of that in Nigeria. Now, this firm, what they have done is to create communities where people
Mm,
can live safely. So they acquire the land, the virgin land. That virgin
mm,
land, after acquiring it, they put
yeah.
there a perimeter fencing. They fence it all
Yeah.
around.
Mm,
That
mm,
that will bring in, that was the initial stage for security for that place.
mm,
Then
mm,
they will do the road network, they do the drainages, then people start to build their houses. And then, apart from the physical structures, they also bring in some facilities, secure 24-hour security. They ensure that there's 24-hour lights. Then there are places created for recreation. There are parks
mm,
within the estates. There are places for tennis. There are shopping malls, you know. And then they also now make arrangements such that there can be 24-hour power supply. So
mm,
when you now compare this with just a virgin land, you will see that they have added a lot of value. They have added a lot of value to this same property. They have added a lot of value to this same property. So that way
mm,
you cannot
mhm,
say that it is still just ordinary land. They have added a
mm.
lot of value to it, and that will reflect in the market value of this property.
All right. That is so great to know, because I know most people are usually torn in between buying such property or just to wait until the whole place develops, then they go and buy. But thank you for that
Now,
clarification.
the challenge with that is that
Mm-hmm.
when you wait for the place to appreciate before you buy,
Mm,
when you buy before the place appreciate, you buy low.
mm,
You understand? You're
yeah,
buying low, you buy cheaply. But when you wait
yes.
for the place to appreciate, to be fine, to all the facilities to be there, then you will pay premium for waiting. Because now that the value has gone up because of the facilities added to it, that
Mm,
price will have gone up to reflect the
mm,
investment. You understand?
mm,
So people that
yeah.
buy early, they buy cheaply. People that buy low, people that wait, they buy more expensive. You know. But investors now, the speculators now buy low and they sell when it's higher.
Right, right. Indeed, that is a clear indication or explanation of why we say time is money. The longer
Absolutely.
you wait, the more money you will have to pay to get it. And
Yes.
the faster you buy, the lower you're gonna buy. So that brings in the aspect of time is money. So to our viewers, thank you so much for joining in. We keep on encouraging you to share the link out, invite as many friends as possible. This is a rare opportunity that you can get to have a consultancy session with one of the most renowned real estate entrepreneur, Dr. Freeman. He is joining us right from Nigeria, and he's also the founder of Ad Loyalty Business Group, which is one of the largest real estate marketing platforms. So this is an opportunity that you can take advantage of to ask as many questions as possible that you could be having regarding real estate, as well as give us your feedback or your thoughts about building wealth using real estate. Um, Dr. Freeman, our next question will be, how can one make money from real estate? And
Now,
would you mind giving us examples?
Absolutely. I'm excited to talk about how to make money from real estate, because
Yeah.
yeah, because that's what we should be talking about, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for ease of our conversation, I'll talk about the five different options of making money from real estate. There are like about five different options on how to make
Mm-hmm.
money from real estate. So I'll talk about real estate speculation, I'll talk about
Mm-hmm.
rental income, property
Mm-hmm.
development, real estate flipping, and real estate brokerage. So, going into the details of it, what is a real estate speculation? Now, I'm sure you are familiar with this word because this is a financial
Yeah.
awareness center. Yeah, the word speculation is a word used more commonly in the financial service industry, whereby you are
Yeah.
talking about, say, for example, a stockbroker
Mm.
can estimate that they can guess that, oh, this particular share will increase in market value much later. So
Mm.
if they buy when it is low, they can make a profit by selling it off when it becomes higher in the market.
Yeah.
So and
Mm.
that is just pure speculation. So
Mm.
the first way and the most common way where people make
Mm-hmm.
money from real estate is called
Mm.
real estate speculation. So what is real estate speculation? Speculation itself is the purchase of an asset or a
Mm-hmm.
commodity or a good with the hope that it will become more valuable in the future. So,
Mm.
and as we have said that we are borrowing this term from shares and other financial investments. So, real estate speculation is more specifically about land speculation or land banking. Land
Mm-hmm.
speculation or land banking, just when you are buying land, you know,
Mm-hmm.
as your
Mm.
investment. It's different from just buying house. So land
Mm.
speculation is a financial activity whereby you purchase real estate with the hope that the price will increase in the future. So
Mm.
this is a good way to make money from real estate, though it has its pros and cons, it has its risk,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm.
it's a very viable way to make money from real estate. Real
Mm.
estate, the land value in your community, in your local area, in the cities, in the towns, the
Mm.
land value, the price they have today, the value they have today will not be the same value they will have in 2 years, in 3 years. But it's only the people that own such land that can benefit from the appreciation of such property. So we encourage people to buy land, own land. If you cannot afford to buy your land in the city, buy it in the town. If you can't afford to buy it in the town, buy it in the suburb. Whatever you do, make sure
Mm.
you own land. Have your name on land documents. I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
that a good number of our audience will be young people, because
Mm.
a good number of the people connecting now are either doing this on their smartphone or they are doing this with
Mm.
their laptops.
Right.
So but one of the things to be proud about being a young person
Mm.
is also to be able
Mm.
to say that I have this investment in real estate, I have that investment in
Mm-hmm.
real estate, and the
Yeah.
easiest way to start is to own land. Make it a
Mm.
priority to be a landowner.
Mm.
So that is number one way, real estate speculation. The number two
Mm.
way to make money from real estate is property development. You know, um, Now property development is a bit more complex than that. Property development is
Mm.
a bit more complex than just buying, keeping the land, leaving it for some time, allowing the price to go up before selling. Now, property developers acquire plain land. They acquire plain land, virgin land, and develop either residential or commercial properties on such virgin land with the aim
Mm-hmm.
of selling the properties to make a profit. So when this is done, then we say that is property development, and then we have a good number of real estate developers in all countries here and there. So now my point is
mm,
that property development is another major way of making money from real estate.
mm,
It's a very complex process because first
mm,
you think about, you start with the idea. From the idea, you
mm,
translate your ideas to paper. From paper, you have to talk about the finance. You have to also sort for the funding with which to do the project. Then you now acquire the land. You acquire a
mm,
good land with genuine property title in very good
mm,
location. Then after that, you now build designs of projects that will be commercially viable. You do the design of the project that will be viable. You get approvals, building approvals. Then you move to
yeah.
site, move to site. You build the houses. Then you now go into marketing, sales. Though it's a very lucrative business, but it is
Mm,
complex. It includes a lot of skills, a lot of specialties, professionals. So
mhm,
that's number two way. That is property development. Then the number three way you can make money is rental income.
mhm,
Rental income. If you are watching us from your house, if you don't own that house, you are definitely paying rent to somebody. So the person
yeah.
you are paying rent to is
Mm,
earning income from your rent as a result of your rent, and that rent is called rental income. And
mm,
if we take the conversation forward a little bit, that rent
mhm,
that you are paying, your rent that you are paying is the one that the landlord is using to send his daughter or his son to school. Is the
yeah.
one that is yeah, that is paying the bills of his lifestyle. So you
Mm,
indirectly, you are the one sending your landlord's children to school. You are the one financing and bankrolling his lifestyle. So, but when you make a real estate investment into properties that are income generating assets, so from there you can also be earning rental income. And what I advise to my clients is this: invest early in real estate, save up early in real estate, such that by the time you are having your children, by the time your children are
mm,
going to school, you will not be
mm,
working to pay their bills. Your tenants will be giving you the money to pay the school fees. You understand it? So you can, it's not a smart way to live. It's not a smart way to live, to be working and turning your salaries into,
oh, yeah.
you are burning your
Mhm,
salaries. You are using your salaries to pay the expenses. It's a
yeah.
smarter way to live by your hard work, the money from your hard work, invest it in assets that will be generating income for you. Then this income, you can now use this income to pay your expenses. That way, you only build the income generating asset once. And once you do that, the asset itself will continue to fuel, will continue to sponsor, will continue to bankroll your lifestyle and your expenses. So that is number three way to make money from real estate, and that is rental income. The number four
Yeah.
way to make money from real estate is real estate flipping. Real estate flipping. What is real estate flipping? Real estate flipping is when you buy, when you acquire a property, you renovate such property if it's an old property, and you quickly sell it for a better market value. So for real estate
Mm,
flipping, let's say there is an old building in a very good location in the city,
mm,
or is a dilapidated building. So when you acquire such a building and you renovate it, you know when you do that, you drastically increase the market value of such property, and then you quickly sell it for profit. That is real estate flipping, and that's number four way to make money from real estate. The fifth way to make money from real estate is called real estate brokerage. you know
mhm, mm,
with real estate speculation, where you buy land, you hold it,
yeah.
and
Mhm,
you time in the future, you sell it. then we talk about property development, when you acquire virgin land and you develop it into
Oh
houses
my God,
or
I
residential.
hope that he will be able to come back right away. I guess we are experiencing some technicalities with the internet. Let me hope that he'll be able to come back. Remember, we were discussing on how you can make money from real estate, and Dr. Freeman was giving us various examples. Dr. Freeman, can you hear us right now? Kindly, can you kindly unmute yourself, as I cannot hear you? As he is unmuting himself, let's hope that, yeah, perfect. Can you hear us now, Dr.
Okay,
Freeman?
great. Absolutely.
All right, I guess the internet had some problem. I hope you're good now.
Yeah, very well.
So you were
Okay,
saying
so I
something
was talking about,
really good
yeah,
flipping.
I was talking about real estate flipping, which is the
Yes.
fourth way to make money from real estate. Then, so I
Yeah.
was saying that real estate speculation costs you
Mm,
some money, costs you a lot of money, because you
mm,
have to acquire large expanse of land so that when the value appreciates, you make substantial money from it. So that's then
mm,
property development is also very capital
mm,
intensive.
mm,
Rental income to have
mm,
real estate income generating assets will cost you quite a substantial amount of money. Then
mm,
even real estate flipping will cost you
mm,
money. So the fifth way is
mhm,
the only way where you can start your real estate business with zero capital,
mhm,
and
mhm.
that is a real estate brokerage.
Brokerage.
So,
Yeah.
as a real estate broker or as a realtor, what you do is that you facilitate a real estate sales transaction and then
Mm-hmm.
you earn a fraction of that transaction as commission,
Mm,
and
mm,
that is the simplest and the easiest way to start your journey of making money from real estate. When you do this and you do this well, it will give you enough capital with which you can now buy large expanse of land. It will give you enough capital with which you can invest in real estate, rental income generating assets, or other
mm,
aspects of real estate, whether it's development or real estate flipping. And
mm.
interestingly, my book Print Money with Zero Capital is the book that tells you about how to have seven-figure income with zero capital. So essentially, it's talking about real estate brokerage and how you can start, how you can finish it up, how you can go through the process without any stress.
Perfect. I think I like the real estate brokerage segment, whereby quite a number of people, they'll tell you, how can I get into real estate and I want to make money. I believe they can start from the brokerage section and ensure that you ensure the process is done very well and in all honesty, so that you can gain more people to trust you. And I believe your book is very, very important for anyone that wants to make easy money. So long as you ensure you get the buyer, connect the buyer and the seller, and ensure the process goes down smoothly. As I've seen most of the multi-million real estate companies, they didn't start by owning land. They started by connecting the buyer and seller. Then from there, they grew
Absolutely.
from the income they got. That was so profound, Doctor. We go to our next question. What role does inflation play in property valuation? I believe, having been in this industry, especially the way you've broken down how we can make money from real estate, I believe you can also give us more insights on matters of inflation and how it affects um, the property valuation.
Okay. So talking about inflation and real estate, what's the relationship between the two? Because every time there's inflation, then there's usually a call or a conversation about how this affects real estate. And earlier today, I was responding to questions from Business Day newspaper in Nigeria about
Mm-hmm.
the effect of devaluation of the naira on real estate and on real estate investments. So
Mm-hmm.
now, what happened? For a start, we need to understand what happens during inflation. When inflation happens, it means
Mm-hmm.
that the value, the buying power of money is being
Mm.
eroded. It
Yeah.
means that you will need more money to buy the same item. You
Yes.
understand? You need more money
Mm.
to buy the same item. And how does this affect real estate? In fact, with the present COVID-19 situation in many countries, everybody is
Mm.
just stepping out of COVID-19 lockdown, the effect of
Mm.
COVID-19 on economies and how
Mm.
this is affecting various businesses, whether there's inflation or there is a poor economic activity, and how so
Mm.
I'll link this up with real estate. And I'll give
Mm.
a real scenario of what we are experiencing currently in Nigeria. So,
Mm.
during inflation or reduced economic activity, it means that
Mm.
the buying power of money is reducing.
Yeah.
Now, what has happened, what we are experiencing presently in the country, in Nigeria, is that we have seen a surge in
Mm-hmm.
real estate activities. We have seen more
Mm.
people buying more houses. Why? Two things. The investors that are in the country, the local based investors, know that
Mm-hmm.
if you have a lot of money in your hand and
Mm.
that money is affected by inflation, if you don't put the money in real estate, that bulk money in your hand will become worthless with time. So, because during inflation, with each passing day, the value,
Mm.
the buying power of the money you have is being reduced with each passing day. So, smart investors hedge their funds against inflation by putting the money in real estate. So, we have seen a lot of a surge in real estate activity in Nigeria. A lot of people are buying new houses. A lot of people are buying more lands. Why? They are trying to hedge their funds against inflation. They want to protect their money against being devalued by inflation. So they put more money in the real estate business or in the real estate investment. For investors that are based abroad, for investors that are based abroad, when the local currency is devalued by inflation, so this now presents an opportunity for the eagle-eyed investors. So with inflation locally, it means that the currency is devalued. So when they are changing the money from dollar, they will get more notes.
Mm.
So
Mm.
the foreign-based investors or the investors based in the diaspora can buy
Mm-hmm.
more properties for less. They can buy more properties for less. They can spend the
Yes.
same amount of money to buy more properties. And what this
Mm.
does is that this still means that more money will go in, is going in into real estate investment. So during inflation, the prices of properties go up. The property market is doing better than without inflation. So that is how I will respond to that question.
Wow. That was
And this
just
is the
a
reason
wow.
why. Yeah, this is the
Mm-hmm.
reason why people should invest in real estate, because most times when other sectors are having a bad time, real estate is
Mm.
having a fantastic time.
Mm-hmm. I'm still digesting on that. That was just a wow statement. I think that will be our highlight for this discussion, because
Thank you.
we are so used to saying inflation and real estate. We just think when there is inflation everything should go down and that investors should hold their money, especially when you said about COVID-19. We saw a lot of people saying that this is the time for you to hold your money, but you've brought in a very insightful perspective that this is the best time to actually hold your money in assets that can give you value at a later date. And that is real estate, which is very important. And to our diaspora community, this is your opportunity to become a millionaire or a billionaire in a very easy way, because you are having the advantage of the dollar in relation to your country's currency. So you're going to get more for less. I just read some few comments here. I can see Calvin Jodisi was saying, great conversation, Dr. Freeman. Yes, it's indeed a great one. And he's also saying that that is really great book. I would recommend everyone to read it. Yeah, the book Print Money with Zero Capital, it's something, it sounds to
Yeah,
be like something so thought provoking, and I believe it's a book that is going to open up ideas once someone gets hold on it. And I would
ab-
say anyone watching this
absolutely,
should go for it, right?
absolutely, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So, to our viewers, if you have any questions, we are about to come to the end of this show and open the platform for questions and answers. So, this is the right time for you to start asking any question you might be having, or any feedback you might be having, or any thought you could be having regarding real estate, and definitely um, anything to do with how you can make money from real estate, as well as if you have any debate that you feel you can bring on board so that we can discuss more on it. This is your time to share with us. So, Dr. Freeman, our last question will be briefly discussed on other investment alternatives within the real estate, such as real estate investment trust. I've also seen mortgage-backed securities. We call them MBS, and I've also seen something else called mortgage investment corporations, and finally, real estate investment groups. As an expert in this field, what are your thoughts about such things? And should we go for it, or we just assume them?
Okay. Um, Now it depends on where you fall as a real estate investor. If you are a
Mm-hmm.
big player, if you're a very big player, you might consider these other instruments. Most of these, I call them financial instruments of real estate based financial instruments. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Mm-hmm.
for example, the the mortgage backed securities is like you're
Yeah.
buying bonds. But these bonds you are
Yes.
buying are real estate related. You understand? These
Mm,
bonds you're buying
mm,
is based on real estate. And when
yeah.
people buy bonds, people you're buying bonds more precisely because there's a lot of safety for your money, not because that's what gives you the best return.
Yeah.
So the real
Yeah.
estate investment trust, real estate investment trust are firms, they are groups, they are companies that give them your money and they invest
Mm-hmm.
in real estate income generating assets or in mortgages
Mm,
so that they get income and then they give
yeah.
you back interest. So it's like you become like a shareholder
Mm,
of this trust. Then we also
yeah.
have real estate investment groups. Real estate investment groups, they're a bit different from real estate investment trusts. The
Mm,
trust only invest in income generating part of real estate, like rental income or mortgages. But real estate investment groups, they invest in real estate, but they are not limited to whether it is rental income or is
mm,
mortgage. They can go into speculation. They can go into property development. They do everything and none with no exception, all so that they can get the best return on money and they can give very good return back to the investors. But all of these fall into the same category. It's like you're buying shares, you
mm,
know, fall into the same category. It's
mm,
like you're buying shares, So now real estate based shares. These are real estate based financial instruments, just like stocks,
mm,
you know.
mm,
And to be
mm,
to have substantial return, you must have a
mm,
lot of money to play with. So for our audience, except until
mm,
if you are now a major investor, most people
mm,
do real estate investment trust because they have money, a lot of money to invest in real estate, but they don't have
mm,
the time. They don't have the time to now be monitoring a real estate development project or doing these land speculations and all of that. So that's why they put their
mm,
money in the real estate investment trust, and those ones do all of
mm,
that and just bring back returns. So for most of
mm,
our audience that fall within our age group, I would think that I would think that it's good to start with the ones we have listed in for your real estate investments. I mean, property, real estate speculation, rental
mm,
income, real estate
mm,
income generating assets, rental
mm.
income generating assets, then flipping, then brokerage. With all of that, I think you are going to be safe.
Perfect, perfect. I believe that is very, very a very important advice you've shared with us because the age group we have, I believe they are between 18 to 40 and or 30, 36. So for such a person, it's really very hard for them to participate in things like real estate investment trust because these are things that really require you money. However, if you have a big group and you can be, if you are a big fish, then
Yeah,
this is the good thing to dive in. But if you're just starting out and you're getting to learn about real estate, as doctor has said, it's important for you to start with speculation and all the other ones that
rental
he had
income.
listed. I can see we have someone here. His name is Shehu Tijani. Thank you so much, Shehu, for joining us. He's saying I'll surely get the book. And about the books, Dr. Freeman, are they on Amazon?
Yes, they are on Amazon.
All right. So I believe you can share with me the Amazon link. Then I will attach in the description section of this live session so that people can
Okay.
easily buy it right
Maybe.
away. Because most people may not be able to get the hard copy or be in touch with you directly, but they can buy it from Amazon. Um,
Absolutely.
Perfect. Shehu is asking Dr. Freeman in simple terms, explain regularization and ratification in real estate because we use this word interchangeably.
There's the last question. I wanted to take the two together.
Yeah, the last question is it's an
Yeah.
acquisition survey plan different from survey plan of that same property.
Done.
So those are the questions, and
Okay.
I believe you can take them up together.
Okay. Shehu, thank you so much for your question. Um,
Mm,
Now, what is regularization?
mm,
Regularization is the process whereby a property that falls under government acquisition.
mm,
Regularization is a property that falls under government acquisition. One of the ways to get the property from government acquisition to become freehold is to
mm,
regularize it. You know,
mm, mm,
the the way most people go through it is called and the excision process. The
mhm,
local community, the owners of the lands, they apply to the government to excise their lands for them. Now, that's a long process. It's a cheaper process, The other way to get a land that is under general acquisition to become freehold is to do what is called ratification or
Mm-hmm.
regularization. So ratification means that you are paying the government to release the
Mm-hmm.
land to you. It's a pretty expensive process, though it's faster than the excision process. Then your second question, which says that an excision survey, is it different from the survey plan of this? Yes. The excision survey is talking about the excision process or the excision title of a property. It's different from the regular survey plan of a property. The regular survey plan of a property is just talking about the location of the property, the coordinates of the property, then the seal of the surveyor that did it. The survey plan also shows whether the land is registered with the government or not, whether the survey is registered with the government or not. So now this is different from an excision plan. The excision survey plan is talking about the excision process itself. There is a survey plan that is done to confirm or to show the excision, to support the excision process. So these are two different documents.
Oh, that is very profound. And as you just speaking, something came up in my mind. Maybe you could give us a difference between a leasehold and a freehold property. What is the difference? And for someone who is starting out, which one should they go for? Because we usually see you hear this is a freehold property, and another one will tell you this property is on leasehold. What is the difference, and which one is the best choice to go for?
Okay, so now a freehold property means that there is no government interest on the property.
Mm-hmm.
A freehold means that there's no government interest on the property. The property is not under any acquisition. But a leasehold property means that the property has sublease. Maybe there's a CFO on the property. Any property that has a CFO, let's say the CFO of the property is in the name of Sheila. So
Mm-hmm.
when Sheila is selling the same land with that CFO
Mm-hmm.
to me, so that title will
Mm-hmm.
now become a sublease. Sublease is a much more better, much more valuable, a much more
Mm-hmm.
higher title than a freehold. So
Yeah.
a property with a CFO, we have a
Mm-hmm.
sublease, and so this is a much more valuable property to invest in.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much for such noble advice. I believe, Shehu, your questions has been answered. If to our audience, if anyone has any other question, feel free to write it down. And in case you will watch this session later on and you have any question, you can post it in the comment, and we'll try our best to maybe link up with Dr. Freeman once again to answer your questions, or even have another session with him. Um, as we are coming to the end of the show, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you, our audience, for your time and being here with us just to get to learn from our guest speaker, and of course to ask your questions when it comes to matters of building wealth using real estate. I must say it's indeed an honor to host this Wealth Builders Conference, and I believe just as I have learned quite a lot from Dr. Freeman, you have also learned something, and that you shall put everything into action so that you can start your journey into building wealth. And to Dr. Freeman, we really want to say a big thank you for being here with us and accepting our request to join this Wealth Builders Conference. I must say that indeed you have a bank of wisdom when it comes to real estate, and to anyone that
Thank
would
you.
want and to anyone that would want to get this wisdom, it's important for you to get his books. visit his social media accounts and follow what he says, so that you don't make the same mistake twice. If you've made a mistake in real estate, this is the time for you to correct, and you can correct it by learning from experts in the field. Dr. Freeman, maybe you could share with us your contact details, how people can reach out to you in case they need any further guidance as we come to the end of the show. And definitely you can give us your parting shots.
Okay, quickly for how people can reach me on social media. I'm very active on all the social media platforms. You can
Mhm.
follow me on Instagram at Freeman Oshonuga, on Twitter at Freeman underscore Oshonuga, on Facebook Freeman Oshonuga, on LinkedIn Freeman Oshonuga, and then you can also say hello to us via on our webs on my website www.freemanoshonuga.com. You know, so I look forward to taking the conversation forward with you so that we can talk more on real estate, and I make posts about real estate every day on all my social media handles. So
Yeah.
I trust that we have had a fantastic time. I look forward to taking this conversation forward. Please buy land. If you already own land, buy more. If you don't own land, make it a point of duty to buy land for no matter the location, just own
Mm.
land, own a property, and also put plan in place to own your own rental income generating assets, and then you take up the business from there.
Thank you so much, Dr. Freeman. Actually, there's something you said. If you are now paying rent to your landlord, it means that, and the landlord is taking his or her child to school, it means you're the one financing the school fees of that child. So it really hits somewhere. So it's very important for us to really consider investing in real estate, so that who doesn't want to pass the bills down to someone else? Definitely I would go for that. So so it's very important for us to really learn smart ways to live in this world, and one of them is learning to pass the bills to your tenants, and of course get more money. Once again, thank you so much to our audience. It's indeed been a pleasure having you on this conference. Once again, thank you so much, Dr. Freeman, for you sharing with us your contacts. And I believe we are going to take this conversation forward at a later date, so that you can share with us more wisdom about real estate. So until then, I wish all of you a very pleasant time. Ensure that you are wearing a mask if you're going outside, you are maintaining social distancing, and most of all, you are sanitizing as much as possible, so that we can combat this COVID-19. Until then, God bless you and thank you so much.
Thank you.